Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, droids of all ages, welcome to Fantasy TV. I am Devo, joined here with the Clitoris and the Gooch, and this is the only show that turns television into sport, and we are in the middle. Actually, we're close to the end of the Mandalorian Season 2. We just finished Chapter 14, The Tragedy.
And before I want to say anything,
aptly named, I would say.
Before you say anything, what I found out watching this trilogy is that I'm terrible at writing anything or guessing anything at all.
No, Gooch, how can you say that?
Wait,
something very special.
No. This episode, true. I agree. There's some things that I did hit it almost on the dot, I would say. But as a whole, I'm actually glad I didn't know because this was an amazing episode. So continue on. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. There's a couple of season-long ones that I'll have to go through and find, but I want to go ahead and start with our predictions for this episode.
Yes. See
how accurate we were. Gooch, since you are so negative with yourself,
no, there was something
good. You said that this would be an Empire filler, and it wasn't 30 minutes of Empire, but it was like half the episode was focused on the Empire. So I at least gave you half points for that one.
Yeah.
Said it would be mostly a space episode. Didn't happen. No. Reach a space station. Didn't happen. You went balls out with Talon Card. Homie didn't show up, but that
would have been like 10 times the points. But yeah, that's right.
And I gave you full points on this because you did say, and you said Bill Burr's crew would make a comeback. And the very end, homie, like specifically, Mando's going to be going after Bill Burr. So we don't know if it's going to be the whole crew, but I mean, that was fucking just.
I was shocked.
Yeah,
Gooch. Gooch, I may have to advocate for an extra point for this one, Devo, because that was so out of the left field. I was like, yeah, I guess that could probably happen, but why did he pick it in this episode of all episodes? And then the full appearance at the very end. Like, what the hell?
You know, the crazy thing about it was that, like, through this whole episode, I was like, all right, so I got the whole space station thing wrong and all blah 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 blah, and I was like, all right, so he's gonna meet up with some old crew. And the whole time I was thinking, like, oh, you know what, Ming-Na and Boba Fett. Ming-Na is part of an old crew. It might not have been like the one I was talking about. I might squeeze out half a point with Devo if I begged and and pleaded with you guys.
Dude,
but then Bill Barr showed up. I was like, oh, hold on a second.
Yeah. No, you get full marks for that one. That was legit. That was a legit guess. Moving on with Clint, you said that Gideon would be in the next episode. He obviously
Bingo.
was.
Yes.
You two said it would be a space episode. It was not.
Yeah.
You said the Razor Crest would get chased. Didn't get chased.
It got
damn. That was like mouth agape. I was
shocked.
And I mean, it wasn't just like shot and hit and damage.
No,
it's gone.
Yeah,
it is
nothing
gone.
left. The only thing left is a ball and a Beskar pike.
The only thing that I would like to have seen, I wish it would have been like a turbo laser, like the one off of like a fucking Super Star Destroyer, like a green big ass fucking turbo laser.
Yeah,
because that would have truly obliterated it.
Kind of sounded like it, because like
I did.
Like Mando's chilling there with Boba Fett and Fennec Shen, and all of a sudden you just. It's like, huh?
No,
and they all look up.
When it shot out, I was like, oh shit, that's a fucking turbo laser, but it was a red one.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, that's fine.
So when in Revenge was it Revenge of the Sith? Well, no, The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker. Those Star Destroyers that had the Death Star barrels on there.
Yeah.
Were those green
those
or
were
were those red lasers?
No, those were red, but those were a big ass red ass fucking cannon.
So maybe this was a predecessor to that.
Yeah.
Which is fucking bonkers.
Yes.
So yeah, Razor Crest, rip. And Clint, you said they'd get on another ship, and fucking Mando got on the Slave One.
Yes, he technically did.
He did get on another ship.
He got on another ship, and he went to another planet. So
I didn't think it was going to be the Slave One, but hey, I didn't specify.
I give you full points for this.
When I saw the Slave One, I was shocked, by the way.
Yeah.
So continue on.
Excuse me. Good burp.
So
I haven't marked any points for this one yet because I want to talk to you guys about it, and I want to get your feelings on this, because Clint, you did say that this would not be the final confrontation with Gideon, and obviously it's not, but
yes.
I almost feel like
It should be like a whole series long one, because I mean that right. I think you're right. I think you're gonna get the points, but it's probably a series long one.
Yes,
at this point.
So half points if it happens.
If it
he'll probably be in the next episode.
No,
because it was an episode long estimate. But we already know that we already know that it's not the last confrontation with Gideon. But like I almost feel like that's a given anyway, unless something would have happened and like Gideon died in this episode. But like,
let's do this. Let's give him a season long points. But for some reason, the next episode, Gideon, or the next 2 episodes, Gideon fucking taps out.
Yeah,
we'll give you the 3.
Okay, all right.
How about that?
I'm cool with that.
Because I think that's a good compromise. What do you think, Clay?
I think we should wait to see if they encounter him again.
And
then give me half points. Give me the half points.
So
I mean, I don't want to like. I feel like I don't want to like hoard the points because I have so many.
No. I feel like you
that's
should
the name
get
of the game, Clint.
already.
Do you think Jordan holds off? He takes a step back so fucking Rodman can catch up?
Because you were right. I mean, I felt it was a little bit of cop out, but you were right technically. So I feel like you should get at least the season long points.
Yeah, 1.5.
Okay.
Point and a half.
And then for my estimates, I went all over the board here. I thought that Grogu would connect with the subject from Chapter 12. That didn't happen. I said they would make it a Tython. They obviously did.
They did, yes.
I felt that there was going to be a dark presence on Tython, and I want to get your guys' opinion on this as well. The Empire was there. I put down a half a point. I don't know if you would consider that being a dark presence, or
the problem it's still up in the air whether or not Gideon is actually force what do they call it? Force sensitive. Yeah. If Gideon is force sensitive, then it is an evil presence. Otherwise, I mean, just the Empire. I mean, you're telling me the fucking stormtroopers are evil? They're fucking. The guy was like, "Go get him, you idiot!" That's what he said to another stormtrooper.
What was your exact prediction? Because I have a take on this. That's a little bit of a hot take.
All right.
What's your exact prediction?
I'd have to go back and listen to it, but I said a dark presence, and the fact that it's a Jedi thing, it would have been like a dark Jedi presence.
Now, here's my hot take, where I think that maybe Devo should get half points. But I don't think you guys are going to agree with me, but I'm going to say it anyways. There is a dark presence. It's not necessarily Moff Gideon, but it's Grogu.
It's that little shit, yeah?
That felt super dark and super dark. I just felt like a dark side. Evil maybe is too strong of a word, but it felt dark at the end.
We'll go into that later, because I have some ideas about what's happening there, too.
I mean, I do, too, but the problem is I think it's because it's the what did Ashka say, the uncertainty, there's much fear in his,
and he's already got that attachment, and so like that darkness wasn't until after he was already on the ship.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that he can't remove it, because what's his face? Yoda said the same thing about Luke when he first met him. That he's too old, he's much fear in his heart. But I mean, Luke,
he's a whiny little bitch.
He's a whiny little bitch. So Yoda said the same thing. That's why I like this connection to Yoda and Grogu, because Yoda said that about Luke, and now the other Yoda species is said about it. So I like that connectivity that they did there in this episode. So it's almost like how. Yeah, Grogu is like the Luke character in the series. So it's up in the air. I agree with you, Clint. Mm-hmm. But you cannot say that he himself was evil, because then you have to say that Luke was evil. And I don't think he was.
Okay. Man, that's tough. Okay, fair enough.
So
I thought you guys would disagree. I just wanted to throw it out there.
No, perfect.
It's a good idea. No, it's true. I agree. If anyone was to be evil, it's going to be Grogu. Let's just say that.
I too said it would be a Moff Gideon centric episode. It was half of that, so I put half points for that.
Okay.
I also said that Grogu would connect with Obi-Wan. I think he connected with somebody, because obviously the thing ended, and he was like, "Oh, whatever," but we don't know who that is, and we're not going to know until probably next week. So I put 0 for that one. I thought Obi-Wan would send them back to Tatooine with the intention that they would go get Boba Fett. Didn't get that because Homeboy came to them.
Yes.
Spoilers, by the way.
Oh, come on! You if like our 2 followers are listening,
but Devo, do you get half points for saying that Boba Fett would
no
would appear? Did you say it would appear?
It's very specific.
No, because my specific guess was that it was going to be Obi-Wan would tell them to go to Tatooine, and that would result in the whole Boba Fett. And I think I even say in the episode, those are going to be my next episode predictions.
Yeah,
Got
I think
it,
that's what he said.
About the Boba Fett stuff. Yeah.
They
So
jumped the
for
gun,
me, this
dog.
episode was getting them to Tatooine, and I thought that's how that would happen. And then I also said that Gideon would go to Corvus to free the Magistrate. Homie just went straight to Tython. So let me grab our point totals here real quick. For Chapter 14, Clint got 7.5 points. Lucha and I tied at 4.5 each, which right now, with 2 episodes of The Mandalorian left, Clint has 48 points. I'm at 26.5, and the Gooch is at 17.5.
Yes.
So there is some
work to be done. Fellas.
some work to be done, but it can happen. You know, if we just start throwing shit on the wall, something's gonna stick, right? So before we get into our Chapter 15 predictions, we have to talk about the tragedy.
Can I say one thing first?
No, you go first.
I want to say one thing first. Boba Fett is a fucking badass motherfucker.
Of course he is.
He always has been, but you never got to see him like this. I don't.
No.
Do you guys feel like he developed some further fighting skills that he may not have had in the original trilogy movie era?
It could be
I
possible.
don't think so.
With however long he spent on Tatooine, you know, being in the desert, whatnot. We'll get into that later
because he was maybe hang out with Tusken Raiders or some shit, right?
Right.
He could have been.
But for me, this episode is for any of those Star Wars fans, quote unquote, that said George Lucas ruined my childhood with the sequels, you know, and all the Jango Fett and the Boba Fett shit. Like, this is redemption. This is like, this is taking Boba Fett and everything that we've loved about him in the EU, all the stories that were made up by all these famous Star Wars novelists, even the fans that have had these ideas, because it's the most mysterious character, the most badass character from the original trilogy. People had these ideas about who this badass was. We finally get to see it.
But I want to say one thing about that, and I'm going to give my hats off to Jon Favreau, because, I mean, he wrote this storyline. He did, and I am one of those ones. I like the Jango Fett thing, right? I didn't like that. I mean, I love the actor. What's his name?
Tamora Morrison.
I love, but it wasn't him he wasn't the original Boba. The original Boba didn't have that accent, and I know I got over that. I love Jango Fett because Jango Fett was a badass. I didn't like the whole clone idea, but I did like the idea that Boba Fett was his quote unquote son, but obviously it was his clone.
Just a clone, yeah.
I love that idea. But a part of that, I thought Jon Favreau put all the pieces, all the broken storyline pieces together well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I did, because it was a fractured, Boba Fett had a fractured story.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there was comic books, there was, there was short stories, there was
novels.
Novels all over the place with our extended universe that I used to read. I mean, Devo would read the books that we would read, and they would always say about how Boba Fett supposedly survived the Sarlacc pit and all this other garbage, but they never really elaborated on how he actually like if he did survive, what happened to him.
Exactly.
They never did, and he put that fractured story together. I made an excellent explanation for it, by the way.
And when that fool, he's standing behind that rock and he's got that gaffy stick in hand, and the stormtrooper walks by and he just starts shredding ass. It's just like, God, just watching him alone without the armor was a payoff. And then he just whoops that commander's ass, and then he turns his head over and he sees Crest's door wide open.
Did you guys notice the way that Boba Fett, once he was shooting motherfuckers left and right, once he actually got the armor back and he shot, and then the way he did it, he flicked his hand and he put his gun back in,
exactly like his dad,
just like Jango and just like Mando. Mando does exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
it's so fucking
and because maybe it's like a foundling thing or something. Maybe
that's like a Mandalorian fighting skill, probably.
But a foundling Mandalorian.
Because he even says that your dad was different. A foundling, just like Din.
Yeah, exactly.
I love how they finally tied that together now. Now we know why Jango had
But did you notice that they put the foundling,
the crest, yes,
the crest on
his shoulder,
on the shoulder of Boba? It wasn't there before, but they put it on it now. Was it there before? Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was. I think it was just.
Yeah.
I'm
Boba
pretty sure
Fett's always had two logos. He's always had the whatever the feather thing is
the
here on his chest.
and then that
skull thing that was at the top of the Covenant. It's always been on his shoulder.
Has it? Okay, maybe I was wrong, but either way, that's what it was. It was there, and it was awesome. It was great.
And dude,
you know the whole thing. The thing that I loved it most was that like it looked like if I were wearing the Mandalorian.
dude, I loved more.
The little punch. The little punch. I was like, yes.
When Homie's walking through and he first puts on the armor, it's like you're like, oh my gosh, he's Boba Fett in the armor, and then you look at his waistline, you're like, it's a guy from a con. It's like some dude playing cosplay as like Boba Fett. It was just like
it kind of makes sense though. Right?
I fucking
right. Like he's,
I love it that. I agree.
He's older now.
I love it that they didn't try to mask it at all, and it was an older guy.
Yeah.
Wearing like a suit
because when Cat
it looked like a halter top fucking
but I think it also was weird because he didn't have like the right clothes underneath it.
I agree.
He had whatever that.
So that's probably why it looked a little awkward.
Yeah,
but I'm curious to see what he'll look like in the next episode because maybe he'll have changed his outfit or something like that.
Well, I mean the in the first one, what's his face didn't have like his like the leg protectors. All he had was the chest protector.
Yeah.
So maybe
Boba had like some extra clothes in the back of the Slave One, but
I know he looked like he was wearing some.
You just
like,
don't want to walk around in like a jumpsuit, right? So you gotta have some badass armor over it.
The Slave One looked dope as hell. And
dude, I was gonna say, watching that episode.
When the Slave One came in, come on, man.
Yeah.
It must have been sitting in fucking
Mos Eisley
for this whole time.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
that's what I had to think.
So that leads me to so first off, when Din's sitting there and Grogu's like, doing his force thing, and then you hear the do and he looks up and like the Slave One comes over, I was like, and Kat was like, what? I was like, it's a Slave One.
I was shocked.
She was like, what is that? I'm like, that's Boba Fett.
I was shocked.
Okay.
The moment it came, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? That's a Slave One.
Yeah. And then that fool comes down, he just starts delivering all his lines. He says the same shit his dad says. Like, I'm just a simple man making my way through the galaxy.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, dude, that's so awesome. It's such a great payoff.
It's a great
episode. Boba hates the Empire now, I guess.
Yeah. So before we get into that, like, a quick question. He knew Cobb Vanth had the armor. He obviously has access to the Slave One or somehow easily got it.
Yeah.
What prevented Boba from getting his armor back from Cobb Vanth?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I mean, I think I would have thought that Boba not really caring, he could have. I mean, I think he could have fucked all those people up in that town, right?
So one thing I kind of noticed too is going back to the comics and the books and stuff, like Boba Fett was kind of ruthless. He was like he was a bad guy.
I mean, here let's just say this. Even going back to the fucking cartoon that was in the
Great Holiday Special.
The holiday special. That fool was ruthless in that fucking in that fucking cartoon. He's like, they're just animals.
Yeah,
you don't treat them. Who cares?
Yeah,
I was like, damn.
But here, he even like when like Mando's like, oh, did you take the creed? And he's like answering to no one. But like he's got a sense of honor. He's like, you have my armor. I want my armor. We made a deal that I would ensure the safety of the child, and I'm going to stay with you until like I have that deal. Right.
Maybe, so it's like maybe throughout like when his time in the time in the Sarlacc, but he learned,
Well, either that or maybe it was something he learned from the Tusken Raiders. Maybe spending all that time because it's what 5 years after Jedi.
Yeah.
5-10 years, I think. So like that's a long time to be spending with some indigenous people, and then like maybe he has had access to the Slave One, and maybe because he learned those lessons from the Tusken Raiders, that he understood that Cobb Vanth needed that armor to protect those people, and once the armor left Tatooine, he's like, all right, now I can go get it.
And you know what I'm thinking is that you probably bring up a really good point up, Devo, is because he saw how Mando treated the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. Good point. He was nice to him, like spoke their language.
He treated him with respect. He treated him like it wasn't. They weren't they're just people living in the fucking desert.
Yeah.
You know what? That's all they were. They're trying to survive.
He didn't treat them like animals. He didn't slaughter them like animals. Like that fucking psycho.
And the crazy thing about it is he brought, regular people like, the settlers to work with the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
And maybe he saw that. It was like, okay, shit, Mando isn't a bad guy. Maybe that's what he saw.
I also saw him kill a crate fucking dragon, so that might fucking help him too.
True, yeah.
Fool got eaten by a crate dragon, and the crate dragons eat the Sarlacc pit, apparently.
Yeah, which is crazy. But dude, like
the Dark Troopers. Devo, tell me is that what they called? Dark Troopers?
Dark Troopers,
yes.
These Dark Troopers.
That shit was some Iron Man shit, but it was fucking cool.
They look like Star Wars Cylons to me.
Yeah,
I think
felt
they look
like
cool,
they were,
but like I don't know, like
I never watched Battlestar Galactica. For me,
no,
it's just fucking
what I felt,
cool.
what they felt like were like, what do they call it? What were the super robots in Phantom Menace and
the super battle droids?
The super battle. That's what they were. They were
just flying super battle droids.
They had super battle droids that looked like Darth Vader stormtroopers, and they were cool, but the Dark Troopers I know they were like kind of in the mix of both type thing.
Yeah, so like the Dark Trooper is supposed to be like it's a droid, an android, but it's not like like I feel like these things when they went after like when they went after Grogu, they landed. They're like,
I am a robot. Come here. I will get you, and we'll
follow
escape.
Me. You must go to Gideon. Yeah.
Essentially, the Dark Troopers from the game, they look like humans. They are robots, right? Or they're like robots with human minds or something. There was like it's specifically like extremely like a really dark type being, right?
Yeah.
I don't know whether they're robots with human minds or they're robots that move very human like.
Yes.
So
and I've been spending a lot of time on YouTube like seeing people's predictions and finding all the Easter eggs and stuff, and like one of the crazy things is that some people are starting to theorize that these Dark Troopers are the Phase 2. And there are 3 phases. So the first phase was like, like a C-3PO when he didn't have his covers, you can see all his wires and stuff. Like that was like Phase 1. They failed, so they made Phase 2, which is more armored. Some people are thinking that those Dark Troopers might have Beskar armor on them.
Ooh.
Which would make them some
fucking
badass motherfuckers. Beat them
with the lightsaber.
Yeah, and some people are also starting to theorize that there might be a Mark III, a single suit that a single person might be able to get into. So that could be like
a single person with a dark saber.
Yep.
You think the dark saber can cut through Beskar?
It's
Probably
a lightsaber.
Yeah.
So it's a lightsaber. No.
Okay.
No.
Man, I want to talk about Grogu at the end, real quick.
Okay.
Unless you guys want to talk about something else first.
Let's do it.
Because I know you
can't skip
really
over that
for this. Yes.
I was stunned by that at the very end. It actually kind of scared me, honestly, because I don't ever think that I'm going to see Yoda-like creature looking that dark. And I don't know. I watched it at midnight on Thursday night, and I woke up the next morning, and I just couldn't get his face out of my head. Just I don't know. It was like very disturbing. And I remember, I think I said this. I don't know if I said this last week on the episode, but I feel like maybe he could turn into like this big bad for maybe not this show, but something else bigger in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And I just maybe saw the beginning of something right there that could be something like that's a pathway that they could go down if they wanted to. And it was stunning to me. Just the last couple moments of the whole, like the last 10 minutes. It's only a 30-minute long episode, but fuck, a lot happened in it.
Dude, it was packed. And I mean, like, I've also seen a lot of arguing over whether or not, because Grogu does some force choking, and he's choking out those stormtroopers. And, and so there's a lot of argument whether or not that was a dark side trait, because for the most part, we've only seen dark side users use the force choke, although Luke, when he's going into Jabba's palace, he fucking some Gamorrean pigs and chokes them out,
Yeah, he does.
But he had dark side tendencies too, though, Devo.
Right, that's the thing, right? So that's Luke Skywalker, and at that time, he was kind of tiptoeing on that dark path. Now, this is a child who hasn't had the same education, quote unquote, as Luke has. So if he's already starting to go down that dark path, and even when Gideon brings up the dark saber and he's like, "Oh, you haven't seen one of these in a long time, have you?" And then the child reaches, he's like, "Oh no, he's like, you're not ready for toys like this yet." So like for me, that's telling me that fool, not only are they trying to use his blood to create something or somebody else, they've got other plans for this kid.
And he's trying to make a clone of Palpatine, probably.
Yeah. So I
so
feel
this is
like,
all.
So I don't know. Again, like you said,
Maybe
earlier,
Snoke is an amalgamation of Palpatine and Grogu.
Yeah. It could be possible,
and that's why he was fucked up.
And we also don't know, like you said, we don't know Moff Gideon if he's got any sort of Force sensitivity or not. If he does, then it could be possible that he might try to start training Grogu in some dark ways.
Oh, shit.
If not, at the very least, if he's not like, he also could be like, just because he might not be Force sensitive, he might know the ways of the Jedi because he's got the dark saber. So he might be able to try and train those ways to create a dark being.
For me, I expected this, by the way. Obviously, he was a youngling or whatever they call it, a pad. No, I don't even think he was a Padawan at the time, right? I mean, he had to have been on Coruscant being trained.
He's a baby, so you can't be a Padawan.
No, he's not a baby.
Right?
He was like he's
50.
He's a Yoda. He's like 50 now.
No, but
so
he's like child. He's a baby essentially.
But it doesn't matter. He was still being trained. So like when humans or Coruscantians or whatever Terrans are like 4 years old, this fool was like 30.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta look at it, right?
Yep.
So he was 30 when he was a little toddler on Coruscant, and then they Ashkatano reaffirmed it. Someone must have grabbed him from Coruscant and took him away, right? He had to have seen what was going on in there, and obviously he was, when you first met him, he was a Yoda species. You knew exactly that he was going to be extremely force sensitive, and why wasn't he? He saw something that severely disturbed him, and he was depressing his own powers.
Yeah. And just like Luke in Last Jedi, he cut himself off from the Force.
He cut himself off from the Force.
And then, so if he's 1,000 years old, let's just say their life expectancy is 1,000 years. Well, Yoda was 1,000 years old.
Yeah, he was like 900.
He was 900.
Okay, yeah. If he's 50 years old, that means he's less than a year old in their years.
No, I agree.
As it translates to our years.
Yes, I agree.
So he's a baby.
Yes. Yeah, but still,
so
I'm not
saying.
Padawan. I'm just saying that. But Yoda's species are extremely powerful in the Force, and that's why there's so few of them, because they are extremely powerful.
It's a valuable commodity for sure.
Exactly. So, and again, what I was trying to get at is that even Ashkatana was scared of it. She knew how powerful these beings are in the Force. She's like, I ain't messing with this shit. Fuck this. She's like, this is your problem. This is your problem, Mando.
I already seen what Anakin could do. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, fuck this shit. I ain't messing with this. And she's like, yeah, that's it. I don't know more.
She's like, good luck.
I mean, I expected it for him to show like dark side tendencies, but ultimately, I doubt. I mean, if they do turn him evil, I think it would be one of the best things that could do for Star Wars.
Take all the people that think Star Wars is so cute and just flip the script, man.
Will they? Will Disney allow Jon Favreau turning this cute little thing into a freaking monster?
Fucking balls to do it.
That would be so fucking awesome.
Freaking way.
Because
if anything, Mando will probably just kill him. If anything,
how many years like the end of Rise of Skywalker? How many years is it till then from where we are in Mando right now? Is it like 20 years or something?
No, Mando, dude, this is like 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying after Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
At the end of Rise of Skywalker, how many years is it before that in the Mando series right now?
I don't know. Maybe like 20?
30?
Rise of Skywalker is 30 years after the Battle of Endor, right?
Oh, this is 5 years after.
So it's like 25 years.
Yeah.
Is this 5 years?
Okay,
Battle of Endor 25 years from now.
Jedi,
yeah, a lot can happen to Grogu in 25 years.
But he's still young in all these things, by the way. He might be a Padawan now. Who knows?
Yeah. And another thing too is some people are starting to theorize like going on the Sea Stone and he connects with a Jedi supposedly. Some people are thinking it might be Luke. They're gonna maybe de-age Mark Hamill, bring in Sebastian Stan or some shit like that.
Oh. Did you see that? Sebastian Stan? I was like, they
what?
Look like him.
Hold on, tell me about the Sebastian Stan thing.
Oh, dude, that's been for a long time. Like a lot of people have been saying, like, dude, Sebastian Stan, you could play young Luke in a reboot or whatever.
Oh,
and so now
really?
people are like, they're like, there's a series where like a Luke your age would be around, so why don't you just play Luke in this sort of thing? So that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
But
whoa.
you have to think about this. If Luke takes him on as a Padawan, we know exactly what happens to all of Luke's Jedi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They get killed by fucking Kylo.
So that
So
would
I don't
explain
know.
what happens to Grogu.
That would explain what
Shit.
happened to
That would be
Grogu, yes.
nuts, man.
Yeah,
That would be
so,
nuts.
All right.
Anything else you guys want to chat about that
No.
episode? So
Other than the jetpack, did you guys follow the jetpack? He took the jetpack off. I don't think he put the jetpack back on. Why not? He could have used it to go after the Dark Troopers. I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, but
I think that's the
as they
reason
got ready,
why
that's when the fucking stormtroopers came down, and like he was all torn between the kid and
He's
then
distracted. Yeah.
So
I honestly thought that Boba was gonna grab the jetpack, but it turned it was just like his own jetpack. So I was like, well, I guess he just left it there and he forgot. He's like, fuck it.
yeah.
I'm sure he went and got it afterwards, but
I'm sure
I
he
think it
did
definitely didn't get blown up. At
afterwards.
least that was the interesting part. It didn't get blown up.
Yeah,
And
his,
know,
rifle,
the
his
problem
rifle's
is-
gone though.
The thing is though is that if he would have had his jetpack on, there would have been the plot hole where like why didn't he just use his jetpack to go get the things? You know,
Right.
That's why
You
he
know
left
what-
it down there.
you know what makes me
That's why he
laugh?
left it down there.
Remember the scene in the making of Devo where Jon Favreau got all excited about the fork gun that was in the, and then all of a sudden now it's gone.
Yeah.
Maybe Jon Favreau kind of little wink to George Lucas a little bit.
Yeah,
Get rid of
I
that.
got you. So, all
right, Devo, you go first.
Let's get prepared for chapter 15.
Oh man.
You
go first, Devo. We tied, so you go first.
I was racking my brain all day trying to come up with some ideas, and I think it's kind of clear where they're kind of going with this. Obviously, with our homie fucking Bill Burr coming back.
Yeah.
The Empire has the kid, so now we have to go after the Empire. So, a couple of my guesses so far for chapter 15. Grogu is going to meet whoever it is that needs his blood. So whether it's Palpatine or they create Snoke or whomever, I think that's where they're going with Grogu, and I think next episode Grogu is going to meet that person because the last episode is going to be action packed. Mando and company, Boba Fett, Fennec Shen, Cara Dune, fucking Bill Burr. They're going to go and try to recruit Bo-Katan for help too. I think it. I do think that one of my season longs is we are going to have a Mandalorian versus Dark Trooper battle at the end.
Okay.
And I think this is starting to lead to that. We've got Mandalorian Din Djarin. We've got the baddest ass Mandalorian in the galaxy, Boba Fett, now all partnered up. You got to go get some more Mandalorians to help out, right? Obviously, I think this is almost kind of a given, but I put it out there anyway. Mando's going to successfully break out Mayfield. It could happen. It could not happen. This could be a wrench that gets thrown in the operation. Like they need Mayfield to go after and find that ship. What happens if he dies? How are you going to find that? So it's a possibility. And I do think that when that happens, we're only going to get Mayfield. We're only going to get Bill Burr. We're not going to get the other two characters. Yeah. I don't think fucking Clancy or fucking the chick from Harry Potter is going to come. Whomever and when he was on that Seeing Stone, I think Grogu did connect to somebody, and I have a feeling that whomever he connected to will reach out to him in this episode. I don't want to try and say who because I said it last time. Well, fuck it. Last time I thought it was Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it's still Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But you can't just say it's gonna be a Jedi. Of course it's gonna be a Jedi. You gotta at least hint at someone that's not just like a Jedi,
right?
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Why? Because they got another series coming out.
All right, that's
Ewan
fine.
McGregor's been on set. It makes sense, I think it's gonna be more likely that it's gonna be Obi-Wan Kenobi that will at least push them in the right direction. Because because they didn't say that. Oh yeah, like. She didn't say it was going to be a living Jedi that was going to connect to him, like feel his presence.
So you're saying that Ewan McGregor might show up and like in front of Mando telling him you need to save Grogu or here's Grogu and Mando's like what the fuck did you see?
I think Grogu's going to be like Grogu's going to be in a cell or something like that, right? Because he's on the ship, but because he's a Force ghost, he felt the presence of Grogu, and he's going to go and speak with Grogu. And I don't know how they're going to do it this way, but I think it's going to be Obi-Wan mostly because they've got the series McGregor's around. It's one of the only people without a puppet being Yoda that you can put in there as a Force ghost, and it would make sense, right?
Okay.
And I kind of already touched upon it, but I do think that Gideon is going to start to try and train Grogu in the dark side. I don't think he's Force sensitive, by the way. I think he's just that kind of a smart, like he's just so smart, so cunning, so sophisticated that he will know like what he has to do to push his kid's buttons and turn him to the dark side.
Right.
And then this is a cop-out. This is a BS sort of guess here, but I think, that dank ferric phrase is not going to be used in this episode. And I only say that because when the kid took the ball, he's like, oh, dank ferric. They've made it a point to say that term like almost in every episode this season, and I think it's not going to show up this one. So,
all right.
Those are my guesses.
So for me, I think Devo's right, obviously, because they're going to go break out.
Obviously, I'm right.
Yeah, what's his face, right? Bill Burr's character. I mean, obviously, that was crazy. I didn't think I was going to be right. But but I don't think that Cara Dune's going to do it. Go with him. I think she's gonna eventually she may start to go with him because she looks like she likes being part of the alliance now, or the
New Marshal
Republic.
of the Republic,
the Marshal of New Republic. She's gonna be at one point where she can't break him out or have to kill an obviously Republic troopers, right? So, I mean, it's obviously they're gonna go to Bill Barr's character, obviously. So I don't want to say that, but I don't think Cara Dune will start off of it, but there's going to be a point where she says, I can't go any further with you guys. So that little troop is going to break up there, because I think Cara Dune will eventually say that I can't. And Mando's, of course, is going to say I accept it. Because Mando, they're both very honorable people, so they're going to accept that part.
Boba Fett won't.
No, Boba Fett will. Well, apparently new Boba Fett will. I think.
True.
He's a changed man.
He's a changed man.
Unless he's playing them. Unless
I agree. Unless
he's
playing them. That did cross my mind.
I didn't bring this up, but when Boba Fett's flying up towards the cruiser, right? And he's like, oh, the Empire's back. And they're like, oh, no, it's not. And he's like, no, I see the cruiser. Like, he's flying up towards that ship. And then he's like, and they're like, peel back. He's like, okay. And he takes off. Like, that's hella close to the ship. And he's tracing the Jar Troopers. You mean that cruiser did not once try to fire on him?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wait a second. Why?
It was a strange scene. It was a strange scene.
I was like, why isn't this?
Because he's in cahoots, fool.
Oh, man.
He's in cahoots.
I choose to believe that if you get fucking swallowed by a Sarlacc pit and you live, you're changed.
You become a better man, but
you become a better man.
Whatever.
Credits are credits, baby. Sorry, Gooch.
No, I was going that same way. I was gonna say that Ming Na's character or Boba Fett we're gonna turn on him. I personally think it was Ming Na's character, and now that you brought up Boba Fett,
so that's your prediction.
Yeah, my prediction was that Ming Na's character is gonna turn on him eventually. She's gonna find out. She was gonna say, well, this fuck this shit. I mean, he may have saved me, but like I think I paid my bet dead enough.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an entry for both. Ming Na will be a traitor. Boba Fett will be a traitor. So that way, if one happens, you get points for it. And one happens, fuck it.
Okay. Yeah. I agree, because it was very for me. It was very likely that Ming Na was already like. Did you see the look that she gave to Boba Fett when Boba Fett started talking about like oh, it's our duty to save the kid, keep the child, and she was like, yeah, whatever. So that was one of my other ones. She was probably gonna betray them. The other one is that Bill Barr is only gonna be in this episode. They're gonna break him out. He's gonna find the ship, and that's all he's gonna do. He's gonna either bug out, or he's gonna get killed. So Bill Barr's character is gonna be only in this one episode.
Okay.
The other one, well, that's 4. That's 5 already.
4.
The other one was. I agree with you that Gideon was gonna try to start training young Grogu, but in a way where he's gonna capture Mando, and Mando he's gonna have to choose whether or not he tortures Mando or he's gonna turn to the dark side type thing. And I think that's the only way. I think that because they even Tano said that Mando and Grogu have this connection, right? And I think the only way that he's gonna force Grogu to really use his power is that if he puts Mando in a situation where Mando needs his help, and that he needs to do something dark against Gideon to stop Gideon from hurting Mando,
to get him to turn.
To turn,
to go towards that
exactly,
that way.
just like how the Emperor did it. Palpatine to not to Anakin, the Palpatine did it to Luke, just like that. So I think that's how he's gonna do it. I mean, I would want to make it. I don't know if it's gonna happen in this episode or in the next episode. Maybe I'll pull my card where it's like, okay, I'll do a season long one if it doesn't happen.
How crazy would it be if Gideon sacrifices himself to push that creature over the edge, knowing that a Palpatine or a Snoke will be there to take over?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Right. So that's my Grogu thing. So I think that's what 5. I think that's a good one. I think we have a good spread. And I have one that Grogu one. I really do think that's going to happen, where Grogu is going to be pushed to the extent, but it's going to be because Mando is being put into a situation where Grogu needs to help him, and the only way he can help him is that he needs to use his Force powers in a way that even though he knows that is in an inappropriate way for a light Force Jedi.
Gotcha, dude. I love it. I love all those.
Yep.
I think they're on point. All right, here, Clint.
Even if they're not, I mean, after what happened in this episode, I'm gonna go, fuck, this is gonna be great.
Hey, you know what? Hey, with the exception of that goddamn spider episode, the ice spider episode, it went up, down, and it's been going right all the way back up, dude.
Man.
Just like COVID.
We're on a roller coaster right now, and the roller coaster just keeps going up. It's not coming down anytime soon. So, I think tomorrow or next week is gonna be that apex. And then it's gonna be that just right down in the last episode.
They're up. Mr. Right.
I mean, it's crazy right now. I'm almost debating whether or not Grogu will still be on the show next season.
Wow.
There's a possibility he won't. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
But now,
even if he's still alive, it could be like the Empire actually kidnaps him, and then the whole next season is just Mando alone.
I have another
Thrawn going after.
I have another theory.
Not the Mando and the kid.
So okay. You guys, I actually have one new one that I didn't write down that you guys made me think of as during the episode.
No, that's good. That's good.
That I'll include. So because I had 5, but because I am going to include this other one, I'm going to take out the layup. Because Gooch doesn't like the layups, which is I had originally that Boba and Fennec will help Mando bust Bill Burr out, which is
that's very that's very
going to happen.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna nix that one. But during what I think is my number 1 pick is during that time. I don't know whether it's gonna. I'm not gonna go as far to say it's gonna be a flashback because I don't think Star Wars really does flashbacks.
Well, they've had flashbacks in Mandalorian.
Yeah,
because Mando
a couple. So maybe we'll get to see it. But I think during the time where they are going to get Bill Burr, during all this time, Boba Fett is going to reveal to Mando and the audience some of the details about how he got from the end of episode 6 to the beginning of Mandalorian.
All right, yeah.
I think we're going to get a little bit of Boba history because I think that people they're desperate for it.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're the makers of this show, you got to give us something.
I made that prediction for episode 2.
You know what, Clint? Yeah. And if I think you're right at this now that you've mentioned it. If Boba does give a little bit of history back, I mean, if he does give you this, I'm going to give you this one. If Mando asks what happened to your dad, and Mando goes back and says that the reason a Jedi
Obi-Wan killed him,
killed my dad, and if he mentions that,
fucking Mace killed him.
Mace killed him. A Jedi's killed my dad. If you mention that, I'm going to give you a full answer to that because that's going to be amazing. It's a great fucking.
Gooch throwing another one on. I like it.
It's going to be yours because I didn't think of that.
That's conspiracy theory that's out there too. Is there are people that because Sam Jackson's like I want to come back and play Mace.
Yes, I heard the same thing.
And people are thinking that the Jedi that connects with him on the stone is Mace Windu.
We can't. None of us can guess that because
remember I've always speculated that Mace is not dead.
Yes, me too.
It's possible. But I don't think it's him. I don't think it's him at all.
That'd be amazing. What if all of a sudden you see a purple lightsaber and you're like, oh my god! I think I'd literally cream my pants.
I gotta go for Boba with that one, dude. He's gotta get his revenge. He's gonna steal that lightsaber and cut off Mace's head.
I like that one, Clint. I do like that one.
Okay, so that was the one that I had. Yes. I had new. Is I think we're gonna get a little bit of Boba Fett.
The Boba history. A little Boba.
Okay. in contrast to Devo said when they go get Bill Burr that they're only going to get Bill Burr. I actually think they're going to pick up someone else. I don't know who.
All right.
I can't speculate on who. That's going to be someone else. Someone. And it might not actually be the two people that are there. But I think they're going to pick up someone along the way. I can just see it being a little bit of an extra little plot device in the episode that they kind of do these things. We're going to find something.
For extra points, do you think that's going to be somebody that is from the EU, like a Talon Carr character, like a character like when fans hear it, they're going to be like, oh, another person? Or is it just going to be like some random like Benicio, like, oh, you need somebody to break a code? Oh, I know how to break a code.
I don't think it'll be like some brand. I think it could be, for bonus points, I think it will be a character that people know of, but not some character that's going to make people fucking cream their pants. But they'll be like, oh, I remember that character from this fucking scene from this movie or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Or this comic. They'll do something like that.
I marked it as a bonus. If it's a character that people know of, I'll give you 4 points for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, I think that in the next episode, and I feel like this is actually it's going to sound like a stupid pick, but I think it's actually a little bit of a tricky pick because in the next episode, I think that they're going to have to fight stormtroopers and not droids to get Bill Burr out. And I think that's a little bit tricky because they actually might not encounter any stormtroopers because when they got him out of the prison the last time, they didn't actually encounter any. No, but I think they will this time.
You know what? Another thing too is that was also a New Republic prison, and I think they already said he's on a New Republic.
Yeah,
prison ship.
Maybe you should choose another because they said that he's on a New Republic prison ship, and that's why Kara, whatever her name is,
she said she wouldn't do it because she didn't want to kill.
She didn't want.
That's why I think there's going to be stormtroopers on this one. Not.
So you're saying that?
So you think that stormtroopers are going to be going after Bill Burr?
Are going to show up there? Both. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think stormtroopers will be involved in this. There's something about it. I just feel like it's not going to be as simple as them killing droids. It can't be, Okay.
All right. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna piggyback off of that. You say stormtroopers will be present in the breakout?
You're gonna go droids only?
No, I'm going New Republic. They're gonna have to kill New Republic soldiers.
Oh shit. Okay.
See, my thing is that I think. See, I agree with you guys both, but I think what's gonna happen is that. If this does happen the way you guys are saying is that I think Boba and Mando and his crew are going to show up at this whatever rebellion the New Republic jail or jail ship or location, and it's already going to be being bombarded by Imperial troopers.
Yeah.
So Imperial troopers will already be there trying to break out Bill Burr or try to kill him, and then here come Mando and his goof troop, trying to do the same thing. But what they're gonna find out is that they're gonna need, and this is the only way. But this is the only way that Gina Carano's character will actually help him. If the Empire's already there attacking it, and they're gonna help defend off the Empire. And then they'll like, all right, you can take Bill Burr, Bill Burr's character.
You can just take
him for free after helping him, And I can see that happening with you in that situation. I mean, I think it's far fetched, but that's a good situation there.
I think there's going to be. I think it can't be as simple as they go there. And
I think that's the situation with you, Clint. I think if that's what you see stormtroopers, that's how you're going to see them.
All right, so that's okay. So now that's 3 picks, right, Devo?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
1,
so my
2, 3,
fourth.
Well, you got the bonus one there, so that's 1, 2, 3,
so the bonus.
4. Yeah.
So my last 2. Okay. So here's my last 2. My fourth one is when this is all happening in the episode. I think there is going to be a side plot to this episode showing the continuing little bits of story between Grogu and Gideon. Okay. I think we're gonna get it interspersed in the episode just to keep that little storyline alive. Just because you can't just go a whole episode and then you're like, so what the fuck is happening with them? And this is Star Wars storytelling. Star Wars storytelling always shows you multiple storylines at the same time. I think we're going to see a little bit more of Grogu and Gideon. Maybe them just talking. Gideon's just going to be having maybe you'll get some Giancarlo Esposito nice monologues or something like that, and Grogu just cooing and shit like that. But I think we're going to get a little bit more of them.
I like
So you're not necessarily saying training, but you're like just them like.
There's going to be
together.
some side. They're going to appear on screen. There's going to be some sort of
right.
side plot with them. Maybe
All
it could
right.
be training. Maybe it could be whatever. But I think we're not. It's not going to be an episode without either of them.
Right.
Okay. My last pick. Woo! This is exciting for me. I thought I was going to wait, but I'm not going to wait because it could be a season-long one. I think at the end of the episode, the Jedi that Grogu spoke out to, Grogu spoke out, and a Jedi heard him, and that Jedi will appear at the end of the episode, and that Jedi's name will be Ezra Bridger.
Okay.
And this will start to set the wheels in motion for Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Okay. All right.
I think Ezra Bridger will be the one that heard it because they said they were in the Outer Rim.
Yeah.
No, they're
Far
in the,
away
they're,
from-
No, they're in the unknown regions.
Yeah.
Unknown regions. There you go. So,
Well, no.
I
So
feel-
so the Mando and all them, they're in the outer rim, but Ezra's
That's
in
what
the
I'm saying.
unknown regions.
but that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, it's reasonable that maybe over this course of time, he could finally start getting back to the Outer Rim areas. Obviously, not anywhere close to Coruscant and all this shit, but, so I feel like he could be the one that shows up. He will be the one that shows up at the very end of the episode, and that'll lead us into the last episode. Get everyone's fucking their tips wet.
And before we sign off, I've got one more bombshell I want to drop on you fools. Talking about this prison break, the people involved. It's got something on me, and I'm roping in real life current events. Yeah, I'm taking a look at what's happening out there in the world, and I think it's going to affect what's going to happen to this next week. I think you're right that there, whether it's Stormtroopers or New Republic or something's going to happen, I think that because of this conflict, Cara Dune will die.
Wow. Wow.
It's
Okay.
weird. It's weird. So I started thinking about it when you were mentioning the prison breakout, and to me, it's weird that you go to Navarro, where fucking Carl Weathers runs the joint, and you only go to talk to Cara Dune, and she's been under fire on social media for all her anti-mask stuff and blah 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 blah. Like, if you want to exit her out, then hey, you know what? Why don't you go help Mando on this mission? And
So
you're
this
gonna
is
take a straight
this your
bullet. Boom,
seventh
done.
or what?
I don't know. I've got too many on here. I'm stopped
All
counting.
right. All right. Well, you know what? We'll make this a season long one then. How about that?
Oh no, it's happening next week.
Oh
She's
no,
dead.
all right,
She's
all
dead.
right.
Okay.
Well, this is a wild
Done.
card then.
Yeah, it's
You know
my
what? If it
bombshell.
happens, you get a half point.
If it happens, no, it's
Yeah.
one of my episode picks.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, I put your empires attacking the prisoner ship, and Cara Dune will be present, and she will solve the situation. I think her death will be doing that. So,
All right. All right.
dude, fucking action packed next week. It's going to be crazy. There's
hopefully,
going to be a lot
yes.
going on. We only got 2 episodes left.
Yes.
And then we'll figure out what's going on after that. So, if you don't already, follow us on Instagram at W2SPod. That's where all our content is. You might find us elsewhere, but we're only focusing on Instagram. Make it nice and easy. So, if you don't also follow us for our Welcome to Show, our normal podcast, make sure you do that because we're going to be talking about Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
So, until
Great
next
Christmas
week,
movie.
fucking Dank Farrick.
Yes. I'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you later.